high stakes deals he was used to. But for the first time in years, Ethan felt alive. He started small. He started small by taking portraits of his friends and family. And slowly, Ethan Ethan Carter was the firstborn son in a family that carried its legacy like a crown. His father, Richard Carter, was a self-made entrepreneur who had built a thriving real estate empire from scratch. Ethan's mother, Margaret, she was a former lawyer who had gracefully stepped back from her career to raise Ethan and his younger sister, Lily. From the moment Ethan could understand words, he was told that one day the family business would be his to lead. Now, you have to understand that this was not a suggestion. It was an expectation for Ethan. And growing up, Ethan excelled in everything he did. He was the best student during his sets in high school. He was the captain of the soccer team. He was even the star of the debate club. I mean, if you think of it, Ethan was the golden child, the one who never faltered. But you see, beneath the surface, that pressure of keeping up to everyone's expectations was suffocating Ethan. The reason was that every decision Ethan made was scrutinized, and every mistake he made was magnified. And so, by the time Ethan graduated from college with a degree in business administration, Ethan felt like he was living someone else's life. He joined his father's company immediately after graduation. Starting at the bottom, he worked his way up. He learned the ins and outs of the business. He attended countless meetings and shook hands with clients who always seemed to look at him with a mix of admiration and expectation. But as the years went by, Ethan began to feel a growing sense of unease. He loved his family so much, and he was proud of what his father had built. But Ethan could not shake the feeling that he was meant for something else. The breaking point came on a cold December morning. Ethan was sitting in his office, staring at a stack of contracts that needed his signature. The numbers blurred together. And for the first time in his life, Ethan felt a wave of panic wash over him. He could not do this anymore. He could not keep pretending that this was a life he wanted. And so that evening, Ethan sat down with his parents and told them the truth. It was hard for them to take it in. But Ethan had to explain that he was grateful for everything they had done for him. But he could not continue working in the family business. He needed to find his path. And because he needed to find his own path, Ethan had to point out to them that he did not mind starting over. As you expect, the conversation was tense. Ethan's father felt very disappointed. And his mother, she was very worried. They did not understand why Ethan would walk away from everything they had worked so hard to build. But in the end, they respected his decision. They loved Ethan too much to stand in his way. And so, Ethan spent the next few months trying to figure out what he wanted to do with his life. He had always been passionate about photography, he remembered. But he never pursued it seriously. And so, he decided to take a chance. And so Ethan enrolled in a photography course at a local community college. This college was a far cry from the boardrooms and high-stakes deals he was used to. But for the first time in years, Ethan felt alive. He started small. He started small by taking portraits of his friends and family. And slowly, Ethan built up a portfolio of his works. He worked part-time jobs to make ends meet. And while the financial strain was difficult, Ethan felt a sense of freedom he had never experienced before. He was finally living for himself, not for anyone else, he realized. But as you expect, starting over was not easy. There were days when Ethan doubted himself. There were days when the fear of failure threatened to overwhelm him. He missed the security of his old life, the comfort of knowing exactly what was expected of him. But he kept pushing forward, determined to create a life that was truly his own. One day, Ethan received an email from a local magazine. They had seen his work online and wanted to feature one of his photos in their upcoming issue. It was a small opportunity, but it felt like a sign that he was on the right path. And so Ethan poured his heart into the project. And when the magazine was published, he felt a sense of pride he had never known before. That feature led to more opportunities for him. Ethan started getting requests for freelance work, and before long, he was able to quit his part-time jobs and focus on photography full-time. He traveled to new places, met new people, and captured moments that told stories. He was finally doing what he loved, and it showed in his work. Years later, Ethan stood in a gallery surrounded by his photographs. It was his first solo exhibition, and the room was filled with people who had come to see his work. As he looked around, he felt a sense of accomplishment that went beyond anything he had ever experienced in the family business. His parents were there too. They had come to support him. And as they walked through the gallery, Ethan could see the pride in their eyes. They had finally come to understand that he wasn't rejecting their legacy. Ethan was creating his own legacy. After the exhibition, Ethan sat down with his parents and thanked them for everything they had done for him. He told them that he was grateful for the lessons they had taught him, and yet he would always carry them with him. But most of all, he thanked them for letting him go, for allowing him to find his own way. As Ethan left the gallery that night, he felt a sense of peace he had never known before. He had been scared to start again, but he had done it anyway, and in doing so, he had found a life that was truly his own. Ethan went on to become a renowned photographer, known for his ability to capture the beauty and complexity of the human experience. He traveled the world, telling stories through his lens and inspiring others to follow their dreams. He never forgot where he came from, and he always remained close to his family. He even found a way to incorporate his love for photography into the family business, creating a new division that focused on real estate photography. It was a way of honoring his father's legacy while staying true to himself. In the end, Ethan realized that starting over was not about leaving the past behind. It was about finding a way to carry it with you as you moved forward. And as Ethan looked back on his journey, he knew that he had made the right choice. He had been scared to start again, but he had done it anyway, and in doing so, he had found a life that was truly his own. So what are the 5 lessons we can learn from Ethan's story? I'll share them with you. Lesson 1 is that it's totally normal to feel scared when you're about to do something big or something new. In the story, Ethan was scared to leave his family's business and start over. But guess what? He did it anyway. Being scared does not mean you're weak. It means you are about to do something brave. Think of it like riding a bike for the first time without training wheels. It's scary, but once you do it, you feel so proud of yourself. So next time you're scared, say to yourself, I am brave enough to try. Because courage is not about not being afraid, it is about doing it anyway. 2. Lesson 2 we should learn from this is that your happiness matters, even if it means making tough choices. You see, Ethan had to choose between making his family happy by staying in the business and making himself happy by following his dream of photography. It was difficult choosing from these two choices, but he realized that his happiness was just as important as everyone else's. As a firstborn, you deserve to do things that make you smile, even if it is not what everyone expects. Think about what makes you happiest, whether it is drawing, playing football, or reading. Just make time for it. Your joy is super important. Lesson 3. Starting over does not mean you are starting from zero. When Ethan left the family business, he did not lose everything he had learned. He used his skills, like working hard and talking to people, to help him succeed in photography. So, you see that starting over just means you are using what you already know to create something new and amazing. If you've ever felt like you are starting over, remember you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Lesson 4 is that it's never too late to follow your dreams. You know how in video games, even if you lose a level, you can always try again. Well, I'm going to tell you that life is like that too. Contrary to what people say in the streets, you can chase your dreams no matter how old you are or how many times you have tried. You see, Ethan was already an adult when he decided to follow his dream of becoming a photographer. He could have said, it's too late, but he did not. And guess what? He became super successful. Whether you are 25, whether you are 30, whether you are 45, it's never too late to go after what you love. Dream big and don't let anyone or anything tell you it's too late to start. Heck, most of the popular movie stars started late in their movie careers. So you have to understand that you've got your whole life to make your dreams come true. As long as you're breathing, that's another chance for you. And lesson number 5, your true family will love you no matter what. Even if you accidentally missed sending your mom a birthday gift or showing appreciation to your dad on Father's Day, I'm going to tell you this. Your true family will still love you. They might be upset for a bit, but they'll always be there for you. Ethan was worried his family would be mad at him for leaving the business, but they still loved and supported him. You see, families has a strange way of, most times, not understanding your choices. But at the end of the day, the people in your family who love you want you to be happy. It's like when you want to play different sports than your dad's favorite sport. He might be surprised, but at the end of the day, he'll still cheer you on. So, no matter what you choose to do, your family's love is like a superpower. It's always there, even when things get tough. These lessons, these 5 lessons, think of them as little life hacks to help you grow, to help you be brave, and to help you chase your dreams. And just like Ethan, I want you to know that as a firstborn, you can create your own amazing story. I'm talking about a story where you are the hero. Now, is there any other lesson you learned from this story? Please share it in the comments, because we are building a community of firstborns. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.